Sup shitters, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video today that I make for Jason Gao as part of their very first custom monthly music review. We're going to be checking out a track by an act named King Nu, titled Vinyl, and if we switch over to here we have the video on YouTube. We're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and this was released back in 2017. I think I've heard some music from King Nu as of late. It's nice to hear some of the earlier stuff. I think it was on there's this little boy with a crown. There was an anime that was an intro for that. So let's go, let's make this full screen, hear what we think. We got lyrics after this as well, so we'll check that out, of course. Oh, nice work, the drums and kick, man. That kind of industrial kind of beat. Oh, okay. What are we getting ourselves into here? Vinyl. With that funky kind of, that bass line with the wah-wah. Fantastic variation with the drums there, interesting grooves there, lots to appreciate. A little alternatalism as well in there. It's a nice touch. A little bit of chromaticism there, it's kind of nice. What I like about this is that we've got this situation with the higher vocal range, and it sits nicely on top of the guitars, the bass and the drums and everything else. It's a really clever choice of vocalist, to be fair. Again, nice transition there, a little bit weird, nice filtered vocals there. I'm doing my best to avoid what's going on. Like, I am watching the video, but I'm trying to remain objective, you know? A little bit more intense with the vocals now. Nice change in approach between the chorus and the verse. A little bit of vocal fry there, great choice. So just that held note there, the legato feel for that is beautiful, sensational. And everything else as well. This is a band of musicians who are incredibly talented and skilled and polished, and I think that they're absolutely nailing every note they hit. Interesting little motif. Ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum. As classy, as funky, as charismatic. Vibrant, youthful. Interesting painted decision to have just the guitar on that left side there. Usually that insinuates that something is going to come in on the right later on, but we'll see how we go. Nice little break to switch up the stanzas of the verse. And I love the change in feel here, going away from that swing triplet groove to like more of an 8th and 16th kind of vibe. Excellent work. It displays a change in the pace and the story that's going on, and it makes a lot of sense. Oh, back to it. Okay. So there's additional vocals on that right side of the chorus that fills it out. A weird decision there, I think, personally, because usually you'd have it more full, but I suppose for vinyl it works well. It's nice seeing it in the car like that. Oh, great job doing the solo here. Really good placement for it. Great use of the wah pedal as well. Nice aggression there. Really sensual and expressive. Again, Again, we're riffing off of the main motif or the melodic motif of the track as well to kind of help it transition back into, I suppose, a chorus or something. Oh, excellent. That chord no groove on the snares. Oh. Was that a key? I mean, that was more impressive than I was letting on. That angst, that grit, that tension there, how it was held there. That was thoroughly impressive. I just wasn't sure what was going on. I was wondering if doing a key change or not. But we have. Everyone's got bags over their heads now. I have no idea what this track's about, by the way. We're going to need lyrics for this one, boys and girls. I'm loving the fact that the bass, as well, that the bass guitar is exploring the fretboard like that. It's always nice when we go past the root notes and allow a little bit of flexibility with that low to mid-range. Oh no, she got caught. Oh no, that sucks. I mean, again, I have no idea what's happening, but dope video, really interesting video, and great song. Thanks again to Jason for their pick for this month. Now, I don't know how easy this will be for you to look at. I mean, like, I can see it. I'll try to keep the text I'm reading up above. This is obviously just a lyric section, so I can figure out what this track is about. I think this is about, like, people in the way they sort of intimately or, like, emotionally or whatever relate to each other. I think there's a bit of sexual tension or something like that, you know? They're getting sort of like they really want to just, if we're gonna do it, let's just do it, right? No playtime for you. Yeah, there's smoke as well. Yeah, and there's a little bit more sort of violence to it than maybe it lets on. You know, goodbye with love, snatching it back. It's interesting. So, like, are we saying that, like, by this act we are trying to cling back some of our humanity, some of our independence, our agency? Or is it simply that we're trying to justify our behavior? Yeah, so I do genuinely think that this could well be a track about someone whose maybe his fantasies are being realized through a person that maybe they shouldn't be relating to, and maybe there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance going on, and they're disagreeing with each other, and there's like a second half of the story that we're not necessarily hearing. Let's play with this world with this clatter and madness and hell, and at the very last moment, flash me a wide grin and laugh. Because this is my review of King Gnu's vinyl as part of this SP Patrons video. What I think this track is about, I mean, I've already spoken what it's about, I suppose. You know, it's about someone, I think, looking at another person, trying to get the needs met through them, wondering if it's worth it, you know, the little bits of disagreement and conflict and chaos there, and eventually just saying, well, if it is going to go up in flames, let's at least smile about it, you know. Let's at least make the most of this opportunity to burn everything to the ground. The vocal performance which carried that story was absolutely sensational. Really phenomenal vocals there. Great technique, comfortable in the head and chest voice. I think there were nice little legato passages, held notes, changes in the intensity and in the approach of it. There were some quiet bits and louder bits, you know, especially in that interlude at the end that contrasted nicely with the hook. And I think as well, when I listened to that, you know, just the little inflections and the emotional sort of like baggage that came with each of those lines, you know, it sounded like we'd lived through that moment. It was very personal to the singer. It's a very authentic, genuine, believable performance, and I'm very, very happy with hearing what I've heard so far from King Gnu in that regard. I think as well the structure, the main motif, of the track. It did sound like a funky kind of jazzy, sophisticated nightclubby kind of scene. It did kind of sound like the nightlife, like you're at a show or something like that. And it's like, you know, there's a bit of naughtiness to it, a bit of playfulness to it. But there's also that kind of tension in some of those chord changes, especially in that lift at the end where we're sort of reaching a climax. It's like, are we really going to go this way? Is this actually going to be worth it? Are we actually making it happen, you know? I think that the motif handled that very, very well. There was always an underlying sense of dissonance about it, but it was also kind of curious enough that it's great to listen to regardless of whether or not you understand what the track's about or if you understand the language. You know, that's the beauty of it. I mean, like the actual structure of itself, it's like sort of like verse chorus kind of vibe with a couple of solo sections, including a solo outro kind of thing. And that's as much as we needed for like a just sub 5 minute song. I think we didn't need to have any more. I don't think we could have gotten away with less in order to tell the tale we needed to. I think the actual performance and the arrangement with like the guitars, the bass, the drums, any sort of synth bits, etc., alongside the vocals and the other additional instruments we had in the mix. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and these textures all worked really well together. There was fantastic chemistry between the band members. There was not a note out of place. I never got the feeling that we were trying to overplay or kind of impress the listener. It was more about matching the harmonies, melodies, rhythms, and all the little bits of technicality that we hear occasionally, just because we're not overplaying. We're trying to match that to the story and the vocals, and I think overall we had a fantastic harmony there. Again, lots of dynamic range. You know, the instruments went quiet, the instruments went loud. We knew exactly when to sort of elevate stuff. We changed grooves and rhythms occasionally. We went away from that swing triplet rhythm to like the sort of 8th or 16th to maybe discuss a new idea or a new concept or something like that before we went back into that hook. And it's just, it's charming stuff, man, I think as well. I'm not sure where these guys are in their career at this point, King Gnu, but they sound like a band that's got a future within the industry. I mean, obviously they've got a bit of love and a bit of exposure, considering I think that this video had like I think it had like 39 million views, so they're not sleeping on it. But at the same time, I know that from the talent they have, they look quite young. They're going to go places, and I think that what will help them to do that as well is just the production, the recording, mixing, and mastering, which is absolutely top notch. A lot of the music from this part of the world sounds absolutely pristine in that regard. So typically, I'm almost tempted to not even bother mentioning it, but I will obviously do it for the sake of this being a sort of a professional review. The recording quality of the actual vocals and the other instruments was absolutely top notch, nice and clear, no sort of weird dissonances or anything like that. The EQs and various effects changes, and it's just the backing vocals as well. The panning decisions were great. I actually do like how those lead guitars were on the left for most of the time, and then the vocals came in on the right. It left a hole there where maybe things felt more complete and bigger in the chorus, and that was a smart move. The limiting compression on the track was absolutely sensational. Things were nicely glued together, was not sort of crunching or smushing it too much. And yeah, overall, this is an absolute banger of a track, King Gnu's Vinyl. I really had a great time with it, and it makes me want to listen to more of them. Even if I still don't necessarily feel that I understand completely what the track is about, I nonetheless had enjoyed myself, and that is effectively my review of this track. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show King Gnu some love via their various social medias, and I'm sure they're on YouTube and other places. And stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SB Patrons video. Spartans up.